Mrs. Adegeye is one of us. She is our ambassador in the MKO Fresh Foundation. She's here with us on site today. Mrs. Adegeye Fauziyah is also known as Teacher Sade. That's how we got to know her. We got to know her online. Teacher Sade, the famous Teacher Sade, is with us today. She is the receiver of the award or the Merit Award for the best primary school teacher in Lagos State 2021. Please, a round of applause for her. And it's a Merit Award. It's not the dash that she actually got that. She's deserving of the award, and she's an internet sensation. I learned something from her this morning. Pet, what do you call it again? Pet peeve. She says she doesn't like ringing tones. Uh, she's, like I said, an internet sensation with different viral videos. If you have met with her online, where she invests in motivating pupils all over the nation and the world for persistence in hard work and resilience to the road of success. Everybody, please join me to welcome for the second keynote speech, Teacher Sade.
Good morning, almost afternoon. Okay, so it's safe to say good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I really want to thank the MKO Foundation. Good job. Um, I got to know you even before I became an award winner. Uh, it's safe to say that I got my first ever award from MKO. So MKO has been in business of encouraging teacher, promoting education in Lagos State. And I'm sure we are going to expand your tentacle beyond Lagos State by God's grace. Thank you so much for having me today. Dear colleagues, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The keynote address on education movements, that is the stakeholder conference organized by the MKO Foundation today. So it is with great respect and sense of duty that I address you today at this significant gathering. It's like, this is your second edition, if I'm right, okay, of the foundation rights. That's Fundamental Rights to Education Support Foundation and MKO Educational Reform Movements. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. So now let's talk about the Nigerian education. The topic is, the theme is, you have the theme. The theme is talking about investing in education. One thing I want to say is there's no amount we invest in education that is a waste. Investment in education, spending on education, allocating funds for to promote education should be seen more as an investment than liability. A wise man once said that no nation will grow beyond the level of or the quality of education of its citizen. Okay, the more exposed, the more learned, the more educated the citizens of a country is, the better the development of that country. And that is why investing in education, spending in education should be seen as more as an investment than liability. So far, so good. We are getting better. At least we are not where we used to be. But there's still a lot of a very big room for improvements. Now we have more conducive environment in some schools in Nigeria, and especially in Lagos State. My instances might be limited to Lagos State because this is where I work. I know more about this than any other place. For instance, before we know what education in Lagos State used to be like, do you want to see somebody that bring their children to public school? But things are getting better. But notwithstanding, there's room for improvement. Government still need to look inward. There are lots of things that have to be done. Our curriculum needs to be worked on. It involves money. And we need to think of a curriculum that meets the needs of the country at this moment. Enough of the theoretical curriculum. Enough of the theory, the curriculum of commerce is this, is that, is that. And we need a curriculum that teaches entrepreneur. We need curriculum that teaches skills. We need a setting, a school setting where a child will enter into school at the end of the first primary school. The child can at least lay his or her hand on something during. Then another 6 years in secondary school, the child should be at least, even if he's an amateur, a professional in certain skill. And this has to happen through our curriculum. So we need curriculum reformation, which entails investment as well. We need to redesign our curriculum. For instance, what we used to know is when we're in primary school, we had this home economics department. Home economics subject where you will taught certain thing or the other. We need such thing to be reinforced, such that a child that studies home economics from primary 1 to 6 should be able to make little pastries. Then the child grows from there and gets to secondary school, and such a child goes through another home economics department for another 6 years. Such a child should be able to come out and say, I'm a cook. I can do pastries. I can do this. I can do that, which can even fetch them money. Education, why some people think education is a scam is after 6 years primary, 6 years secondary, 4 or 5 years university. One thing I want to say is there's no amount we invest in education that is a waste. Investment in education, spending on education, allocating funds for to promote education should be seen more as an investment than liability. A wise man once said that no nation will grow beyond the level of or the quality of education of its citizen. Okay, the more exposed, the more learned, the more educated the citizens of a country is, the better the development of that country. And that is why investing in education, spending in education should be seen as more as an investment than liability. So far, so good. We are getting better. At least we are not where we used to be. But there's still a lot of a very big room for improvement. Now we have more conducive environment in some schools in Nigeria, and especially in Lagos State. My instances might be limited to Lagos State because this is where I work. I know more about this than any other place. For instance, before we know what education in Lagos State used to be like, do you want to see somebody that bring their children to public school? But things are getting better. But notwithstanding, there's room for improvement. Government still need to look inward. There are a lot of things that have to be done. Our curriculum needs to be worked on. It involves money. And we need to think of a curriculum that meets the needs of the country at this moment. Enough of the theoretical curriculum. Enough of the theory, the curriculum of commerce is this, is that, is that. And we need a curriculum that teaches entrepreneur. We need curriculum that teaches skills. We need a setting, a school setting where a child will enter into school at the end of the first primary school. The child can at least lay his or her hand on something during. Then another 6 years in secondary school, the child should be at least, even if he's an amateur, a professional in certain skill. And this has to happen through our curriculum. So we need curriculum reformation, which entails investment as well. We need to redesign our curriculum. For instance, what we used to know is when we're in primary school, we had this home economics department. Home economics subject where you will taught certain thing or the other. We need such thing to be reinforced, such that a child that studies home economics from primary 1 to 6 should be able to make little pastries. then the child grows from there and gets to secondary school, and such a child goes through another home economics department for another 6 years. Such a child should be able to come out and say, I'm a cook. I can do pastries. I can do this. I can do that, which can even fetch them money. Education, why some people think education is a scam is after 6 years primary, 6 years secondary, 4 or 5 years university, you still go back and learn a skill. And you now ask yourself, why? Why can't I acquire that skill while I was going through my education? Why do I have to go and meet Sade that I used to look down on, that I was not educated, to teach me how to sew? Why do I have to go and meet Brother Meko, Brother Akim Meko, that I used to talk down at, to teach me how to fix my car after more than 10 years
Recording
in
in progress.
So these are the things we need to look at. We need to invest in this. Change our curriculum.
Let it meet the need of our society. Let us be able to produce individuals. The education says to produce self-reliant individuals, self-reliant citizens. Let's ask ourselves, is our education really producing self-reliant citizens? Why do I have to finish university and start looking for somebody to teach me a skill that I can easily acquire while still in school? So this has always been my thought, and I thank God for this platform. I've always thought of this. I would really have a platform where I can address this kind of issue. Can we have such system? Can we invest more in schools such that it brings out someone that will fully be independent and independent indeed? That is number one. Number two is the part of the teacher, the stakeholders, those that are giving the curriculum or the policy to implement. Those are implementing curriculum. How ready are we? How prepared are we to face the challenge of the 21st century? Are we still using the skill of 19th and 20th century to teach the 21st century children? You know that the Gen 6 time is over. Do you know there's another set now? Gen what? What do we call it? Alpha. Many of those teachers something called Gen Alpha, and they have their own peculiarity and characteristics different from Gen C. You know, we're all complaining about this Gen C, this Gen C. We've not even seen anything. Now we have Gen Alpha. Gen Alpha says, don't stress my mental health. Gen Alpha says, don't give me too much assignments. Gen Alpha says, don't give me too much work. I can't stress myself. Gen Alpha tells you, if I don't want to eat noodle, I don't want to eat noodle. Give me what I want. Are we prepared for them? Yes, you might be looking at this, they will do that one to their mother at home. They will do it in school. You write your subject on the board, and Gen Alpha will tell you, excuse me, ma, this is too much. And as a teacher, are you intellectually prepared to address that child, or you want to say, shut up, you're stupid, what is too much? This is their own generation. And that's why investment in another way. Government needs to invest in teachers, train, retraining and retraining, both in public and private sector. I have a child I teach online. He is not a Nigerian, so I have to, anytime I want to teach him, he is a Nigerian by extension, his parents are Nigerian, but he was born over there. So anytime I want to take him, I will remove my garment of a Nigerian teacher and put on the garment of a foreign teacher. You know why? He tells me what he wants. And he just say, hold on, teacher. You mean this is it? No, I won't take that. I don't want that. Normally, a Nigerian teacher and me will say, is something wrong with you? I'm telling you something, you say, but if they don't address them down, and this is where Nigerian teachers will have to step out. It involves investment. So a government will keep on investing in education, investing in the teachers, because even if we want the education to develop, the people that are going to implement this, the people that are going to transit down to the children need to be trained. They need to be aware of the happenings, the current vibes in the society. There's this Yoruba adage, I'll try to translate it into English as much as I can, but it might not be accurate. Yorùbá ní ẹni tó bá máa ṣe bí ọ̀bọ, tó bá fẹ́ mú ọ̀bọ, Ashebi Obo. The person who wants to catch a monkey will behave like one. And another one says, Ajá ìwòyí ló mọ ehoro ìwòyí lé. That is this the modern day dog that knows how to chase after the modern day rabbits. There's anything like that, so we need to acquire knowledge. Knowledge needed to be able to, implement whatever curriculum that is developed. Our curriculum needs to change as the society changes, as the world changes, as everything changes. We need to change along with it. We cannot remain stagnant. We can't continue to do something same way and expect a different result. There's need for us to improve whatever we are doing. There's need for us to step up our games. Then as teachers, apart from government, ask yourself, how much are you investing in yourself as a teacher? And when I say investing in yourself, I mean knowledge-wise, self-development, self-improvement. Do you still have the skill you've been using for the past 10, 15 years as teachers? Are you the same fixed mindset teacher that believes this is how we've been doing it? Nobody can come now and tell us otherwise. In education, we call things, the mindset of people are divided into two. We have the fixed mindset and we have the growth mindset. The fixed mindset believes nobody can teach me. I know what I'm doing. I've been in this service before you were born. As a matter of fact, this is my 37th year in this service. What do you know? When did you come? The knowledge I've been using, so we want to change it. Those are fixed mindsets. We have them everywhere. We even have them as our bosses in our various places of work. We come with an idea, they will tell you what kind of idea are doing. We've not been doing this, just to take it away. And that is why government needs to invest in people that call, not just government, all schools, both private and government, need to invest in people that they call their school manager. If a school manager is not abreast of what is going on in the society, you are not aware of the current vibes in the educational sector or all sector, if a subordinate brings an idea, you will turn it down because you are not aware of how important that idea is. That's why before I used to propose anywhere I have the opportunity to hold the mic, that before you can assign someone as a manager of school, either a private or public sector, run them through a course. Let them go through some courses that will prepare their mind, prepare their intellectual, prepare their insight for the needs of our society. So that even if they are too old to own those skills, when a younger person brings up the skill, they will accept it. So as teacher, how prepared are you? What kind of mindset do you carry? Are you investing in yourself? Do you say, oh, I already acquired my degree and that's all. I cannot stress myself. There are a lot of skills that I can acquire. How many of us can conveniently sit at the laptop, gather our material, prepare whatever we want to prepare, gather our resources and bring it out? How many of us know to search beyond using textbook? How many people say use textbook? Let me know. Are we all here? Those of us say, I believe we are all teachers, right? How many of us see search textbook for topic? Don't be ashamed. MK, close your eyes. They will not see you. Let's just say so. I want to believe all of us here are internet savvy. You don't use textbooks. It's not like you cannot use textbook. But you know, textbook that was written before I was born. Some textbook have been revised. The last time we were revised was maybe year 2005 or something. You know many things that have happened. You know changes that we have now. And you see consulting textbook where you can just click on your internet and get the information that you need. So we are seeing the type of teacher that say, I have social studies, so but there's no textbook, I cannot teach it without textbook. You'll see 19th century teacher. Not even 20th century. 20th century will teach you in I want to call you 19th century teacher. A 20th century teacher will not even require textbook to teach any subjects. I mean any subject, including maths and English. Because you have enough up-to-date materials online. You can compare, you can contrast. You can compare your own content with content of any other country in the world and see how they teach it. You can compare your methodology with methodology of any other country in the world. Where you see that the method they are using there is better, you can adopt. But if you don't invest in yourself, if you think, okay, this is where I am not just a teacher, being a teacher is enough, what do I need? And that has been what is killing the education society. We look so much down on education. Teachers look down on themselves. Then the government look down on us. And then the society then look down on us. We just believe that teacher, even the way they will call it, should be teacher and isn't a teacher. And we too present ourselves as such. I'm a teacher. Yes, I'm a teacher with a source. I'm not just a teacher. So you need to, as an individual, invest in yourself. From there, work on yourself. Acquire trainings that you need to be the best version of yourself. You're not doing it for the government. You're not doing it for the owner of whatever school you are teaching. You are doing it for yourself. You are adding value to yourself. I attended the seminar recently and some people were asking questions. What if they don't appreciate you in that school? I told her they don't appreciate you because you don't have nothing to lose if you leave. You don't add any value to them. Search very well, even if you are in a private school, if you have value. If the owner of that school knows that if you do something will affect, they will feel affected, they complain, they want to do everything to hold you. Because you know you have invested so much in yourself. You know your work. As a government teacher, if you are working with government and you know you will stand out, something will stand you out. People will recognize something about you that no, this person is different. And when opportunity comes, when there are opportunities here and there, for you to have stood yourself out, you will be the first person to be seen before others. So, as a teacher, we need to work on ourselves. We need to acquire, we need to cultivate the kind of growth mindset that we need. Let's learn. We learn and then we learn. Those things we've learned in the past, let's put them down and now think of new things. What is happening in the society? It costs. It requires some financial burden, but it's for our own good to make us better person. Then if we have done that, government then do their own. They prepare the infrastructure needed. Our schools have to be taken from the conventional school to technology inclined schools. Not a school, we should do away with a situation where we are teaching computer science without computer. You just theory. Imagine you want to teach on and tell your children, you draw on the board. See this circle that I draw. This is the one you use when you want to power on your system. This is the one you use when you want to search. This is the one you use. Pictures. Education needs to move beyond that. Other people have gone beyond that. I think we are still the only one in that part. So, government needs to invest in education. Put everything needed in place. Although things are getting better, some of our secondary school now they have those labs. But it has not gone right. So we need to work on it. Investing in education is not a waste. I said it. It's not a liability. It is an investment for better. What interesting about investing in education is that it cuts across all facets of life. Imagine before, when I was still in the period of producing children, giving birth, when I go to all this antenatal, they will tell us that they have to teach parents over and over and over again because larger percent of the parents were not learned. So out of their mistakes here and there, they cause issues for themselves during pregnancy, which affect the children. But then they said, now that they have, the set of parents that are learned, when I was pregnant with my first child, I bought books, I read. I knew what I was expecting. I knew the changes that would take place in my body. I knew the things that I ought to do and should not do, even before I said attending antenatal. That is one effect of education. So education is not just to produce workers, to produce this. It even affects the citizen. If they are well educated, there will be less people in the prison. If they are well educated, there will be less kind of a kind of crimes or all sorts of problems. Because as a learned person, mentally you are okay, you will know what you should do, and it gives government a less. It's easier to invest in education than to invest in what do you call prison now. Correctional centers. It's easier to maintain good standard of education than to maintain correctional centers. So this is my message to us. Investing in education is not a waste. The more we invest in education, the better the standard of education, and the better the life. Even we become wiser. You know better. You know what you want. You know what you want. The way you and I will plan the lives of our children is not the way someone that drops out of school or that not go to school will plan. Many of us were saved by the grace because we were born by parents that did not go to school. But by God's grace, we were able to find our way. But those things we went through before we could get to where we are now, we are sure that we're making sure our children are not going through it. Why? Because we are learning. So these are the impacts of education, of investment in education in our society. More entrepreneur, more skilled laborers, more professionals, less unemployed citizens in our society. Just as I said earlier, imagine someone going through, instead of teaching business studies in the university, why not teach entrepreneurship? So that somebody that finishes from that place, instead of carrying business study certificate looking for a job, becomes an entrepreneur. So these are the things we do. That is the definition of self-reliance. Self-reliance is not about speaking English, knowing your rights. You know, I know my rights. I'm a citizen of this. It's not about that. It's about being really, really self-reliant. So I'm going to drop my mic here now. I appreciate you for having me. I hope the little I said is speaking and valued as much as it should be. Let's work on ourselves as teachers. We pray government and other state education stakeholders also work on the system of education and make it get better. Let's together work so that we produce individuals that are truly self-reliant. Thank you so much for having me.